In that solitary space, where external validation offers no comforting embrace, where the very air around you feels thin with absence, that is where genuine power reveals its subtle contours. This isn't about weakness or a lack of connection, but about a deeper, more enduring form of fortitude, one that doesn't depend on who is watching or who is by your side. It is the strength of the inner citadel, forged in the fires of self-discovery and resilience. Today, we journey into the heart of this quiet power to uncover 5 profound signs that speak not of a man's social standing or his external achievements, but of an unbreakable spirit, a truly strong man, even when no one is by his side. Stay with me, for these insights might just redefine what true strength means and illuminate the quiet dignity that resides within you. The first sign, perhaps the most telling, is that he is the architect of his own solitude, not its prisoner. We often equate being alone with loneliness, a condition to be avoided, a void to be filled. But for the truly strong man, solitude is not a burden. It is a chosen sanctuary, a workshop for the soul. He doesn't merely endure the quiet. He seeks it. He cultivates it, understanding that in the absence of external noise, a different kind of music can be heard, the symphony of his own thoughts, the whispers of his deepest truths. He finds solace in the company of his own mind, not as an escape from the world, but as a path to understanding it and himself more deeply. He doesn't dread the empty chair across the table. He finds freedom in it. He uses this time for reflection, for planning, for deep creative work, or simply for being. His inner world is so rich, so meticulously built, that he never truly feels alone. He understands that genuine self-sufficiency is not about isolating oneself from others, but about being so grounded in one's own being that the presence or absence of others becomes a matter of choice, not a measure of worth. He knows who he is, independent of any reflection in another's eyes, and that self-knowledge becomes his unwavering companion, a fortress in the wilderness. This solitude isn't a retreat from life, but a deep dive into its essence, a profound act of self-love and self-mastery that allows him to emerge clearer, more centered, and ultimately more prepared to engage with the world when he chooses to. The second sign reveals itself in his unwavering inner compass, an unseen anchor that holds him steady amidst life's shifting tides. In a world constantly demanding conformity, offering endless paths of least resistance, and often rewarding superficiality, the strong man possesses an incorruptible sense of what is right, what is true, and what aligns with his core values. This isn't stubbornness, but a profound commitment to his internal moral architecture. When external pressures mount, when temptation whispers sweetly, or when the easiest path is the one that compromises his integrity, he feels the pull, but he does not break. His decisions are not dictated by popular opinion, fleeting trends, or the desire for immediate gratification or acceptance. They are filtered through a deeply internalized system of ethics and principles built over years of introspection and experience. He knows his boundaries, he understands his non-negotiables, and he stands by them even if it means standing alone. This internal anchor provides him with a profound sense of stability, a quiet strength that emanates from within. He doesn't need external rules or the watchful eyes of others to guide him, for his own conscience is the most formidable judge. This steadfastness grants him a rare freedom, the freedom to act in accordance with his deepest self, unaffected by the ebb and flow of external approval, becoming a beacon not just for himself, but subtly for those who eventually seek genuine authenticity. The third sign is his profound ability to be the silent alchemist of pain, transforming suffering and loneliness into growth. Life, in its rawest form, brings challenges, heartbreaks, and moments of profound solitude that can threaten to overwhelm even the most resilient among us. Many crumble under the weight of these experiences, seeking escape, blame, or immediate relief through unhealthy distractions. But the truly strong man approaches his wounds with a different kind of courage. He doesn't shy away from the sting of loneliness, the ache of loss, or the discomfort of failure. Instead, he confronts them, not as an adversary, but as a teacher. He sits with his pain, allowing it to move through him, to speak its truth. And in that silent communion, he begins the arduous work of alchemy. He doesn't pretend it doesn't hurt, but he refuses to be defined by the hurt. He searches for the lessons embedded within the struggle, the hidden strengths that only emerge when tested to the breaking point. His solitude becomes a crucible, where sorrow is transmuted into wisdom, regret into resolve, and loneliness into a deeper understanding of human connection and ultimately self-compassion. He emerges from these trials not unscathed, but undeniably transformed, imbued with a quiet resilience and a depth of character that can only be forged in the fires of adversity, alone, yet never truly diminished. He understands that the deepest healing often occurs in the quiet moments when the world is silent and only the heart's true rhythm can be heard. The fourth sign speaks of his unyielding gaze of truth, especially when directed inward. Many of us navigate life wrapped in comfortable delusions, constructing narratives that protect our egos, avoiding the harsh glare of our own imperfections. But the strong man possesses a radical form of self-awareness. He faces his own shadow, his flaws, his mistakes, and his insecurities, not with self-condemnation, but with an unflinching honesty. He doesn't need others to point out his shortcomings, for he has already seen them, acknowledged them, and has begun the difficult work of integration or transformation. This isn't an act of masochism, but an essential component of genuine self-mastery. He understands that true strength isn't about projecting an image of perfection, but about embracing the full spectrum of his humanity, including its darker aspects. He is humble enough to admit when he is wrong, brave enough to confront his own biases, and committed enough to continuously strive for a more authentic self. This self-truth is a lonely path, as it often means shedding false identities that once offered comfort or social acceptance. But in this quiet act of self-confrontation, he builds an integrity that is impenetrable, a clarity of being that allows him to stand firm, knowing both his limits and his boundless potential, utterly secure in the reality of who he is, even if that reality is only known to himself. He finds power in owning his story, every intricate detail, without the need for external validation or the softening filter of another's gaze. Finally, the fifth sign of a truly strong man, alone in his journey, is his quiet cultivation of purpose, an inner fire that burns independent of external recognition. In a world obsessed with public achievement, with metrics of success often tied to fame, wealth, or the approval of the masses, the strong man operates from a deeper wellspring of motivation. His purpose is not a performance for an audience, but a profound calling from within. He finds meaning and direction in endeavors that resonate with his soul, pursuits that transcend immediate gratification, and contributions that may never be widely celebrated. He might be honing a craft in solitude, dedicating himself to a personal mission, delving into a complex field of knowledge, or quietly working to improve his character and inner world. This purpose is his constant companion, his guiding star, offering meaning and structure even when the external landscape feels barren. It's a deep, unwavering commitment that fills his days with intentionality and his nights with quiet satisfaction. He doesn't need medals or applause to confirm the worth of his efforts, for the worth is inherent in the act itself, in the dedication, in the growth, in the unfolding of his potential. This inner drive allows him to sustain effort through long periods of isolation, to overcome doubt, and to keep moving forward, propelled by a force that originates entirely within himself, a quiet, unshakable conviction that his journey holds profound significance, regardless of who witnesses it. These 5 signs, then, paint a portrait of a strength that is rarely showcased in grand narratives, a power that resonates from the quiet depths of the human spirit. It is the strength of a man who looks inward, who trusts his own compass, who transmutes his pain, who faces his truth, and who is guided by a purpose forged in the crucible of his own being. This is not the strength of the conqueror, but of the architect, the alchemist, the anchor, the truth seeker, and the quiet cultivator. It is a strength born not from the abundance of companions, but from the profound sufficiency of self. As you reflect on these qualities, perhaps you recognize parts of yourself, or perhaps you see a path illuminated before you. The journey to cultivating such strength is a deeply personal one, often undertaken in the quiet moments when the world seems to have forgotten you.